one of the best men I met in Slovenia. Actually, we met today. But yeah, I know Slovenia from from some time, and as you can see, we have a green Gold Brewing just the opposite of the scene. So if you still don't have beer from them, you have to try. I'm actually having a hazy discovery Żalec, which is made by Pinta, but you are here in Poland.
We did this beer in Pinta, close to Bielsko-Biała at their brewery, about a month ago. And we used insane amounts of the homegrown at my farm Styrian Wolf and Mosaic hops.
All right. Yeah, I remember from the last edition in autumn last year we had Pinta, not Hazy Discovery, but Pinta Hop Tour Slovenia. I don't know if you tried this beer. But yeah, it's not the first time to cooperate for Pinta with Slovenian brewery, but it's the first time for the Slovenian brewery here at the Warsaw Beer Festival. So Luka, I know your brewery because I'm visiting Slovenia since 2016, but can you tell people who you are and what are you doing here?
Well, yeah, that is a long answer, but yeah, so you said you visited since 2016 to Slovenia. So that's the year when we opened up the brewery right on my family farm. So the Green Gold story goes way, way back. The Green Gold story actually started in the 1880s. So roughly 150 years ago, when one of my ancestors was one of the first to plant the hops in the Slovenian region, in the Savinja Valley. That's when the history began in the valley, actually. So the valley is now known, it's called the Valley of Green Gold, just because of the hops. And when we opened up the brewery in 2016, calling it Green Gold was the only logical solution, you know?
Yeah.
And how we did that. So, like I said, today my family grows about 52 hectares of hops. Which is more than the whole country of Slovenia uses. And that's why we export a lot of hops. And when we export the hops, we export them worldwide. United States, Brazil, China, Japan, you name it. And when we went to promote Slovenian hops into the United States 10 years ago, every brewer asked me the same question. You have so much hops on your hand, why don't you make your own beer? And that got me thinking, and I made some of my own beers. I started on a 50-liter small batch brew system. After the beer was done, I invited my friends. We drank the beer in like 3 hours. Obviously, everybody got fucking hammered. And you know, after that, repeated a couple of times, it only made sense to do this commercially. So fast forward to 2024, Green Gold is the largest craft brewery in Slovenia. Our annual production is about 7,000 hectoliters. We are known worldwide to be the innovators of hoppy beers with Slovenian hops. Because like I said, when we started 10 years ago...
Because I know that you have in Slovenia around 100 breweries working now and around 25 different varieties of hops. So, yeah, like you're using most of them, or you have some specific ones like Styrian Wolf, Styrian Cardinal, or you are making some experiments? Because we have quite a similar story in Poland. We have Polish hops, you visited them. And they are growing a lot of kind of hops. They are especially making them for craft breweries. But still, I think like Polish and Slovenian hops are on the same way, like they're exporting, but not so well known as American or German or Czech one, maybe.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, Polish hop growers and Slovenian hop growers, we are very often neck and neck on the acreage-wise. You know, sometimes Slovenia is bigger acreage-wise, and sometimes Poland is bigger. We are, as I would call it, we are brothers in hops. Bober kurwa. And yeah, like I said, Slovenia exports majority of the hops. Poland, not so much, because it's obviously so much bigger. But Slovenia only uses about 60 tons of hops per year, while the country produces about 2,000 tons. So my family farm, we produce about 90 tons per year. So my family produces more than enough hops for the whole of Slovenia. And there are about 100 brewers. The production of beer is about, if I'm not mistaken, you know, I've had a few. I think it's about 1.2 million hectoliters in Slovenia. Majority of that is Heineken.
Right.
But craft beer is about, I think it's about 2%.
So when we are at this topic, because I'm gonna ask you, I was thinking about ask you about this. Craft beer in Slovenia, is it popular or not? Because I know like there you have Laško, you have Union, and there are people like prefer Laško, Union. But how about craft beer? Is it worth to make craft beer in Slovenia? Because you are a quite small country.
Well, yeah, what you said, Laško, Union, this is Heineken.
Yeah.
Both are owned by Heineken. They are all brewed at the same factory, close to my place actually. So this is all Heineken. The rest, the craft sector is about, like I said, about 2%. Does it make sense financially? Yes. It is at the moment a bit harsh conditions, which is everywhere in the world. But you know, people love craft beer, and we do it for the people.
All right, because you are also like the first country, I don't know if in Europe or maybe in the world, that you are having beer fountain, which is quite interesting. If you don't know, in Žalec there is a beer fountain, which is worth visiting. It's in quite a like city center in the park, and you have some beer columns, and you can try different kind of beers, craft beers mainly. I visited it several times. It was quite fun for me. So yeah, you have quite a long beer traditions, but in Europe, you know, always people think like Germany, Czech Republic is the best known for their traditions. How about Slovenia?
Well, in Slovenia, beer tradition is even older than the hop tradition. One of the first breweries that opened up in Slovenia was actually in Žalec by Simon Kukec. That was even before Laško. That was in the early 19th century. So I can proudly say Slovenia is a beer country. Thank God.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, and like I said, we are brewing beer. We are famous for beer, but you know, we are just, like I said, Slovenia is a very small country, 2 million people. That's less than Warsaw, you know. And for the population we have, we are the best. Per capita, we are the best.
So you are more drinking beer than Czech or Germans?
Well, not by the paper, because a lot of it is done unregistered. But you know, we control a punch drinking beer.
All right, because you know a lot of people also from Poland, like going to Slovenia, is always thinking like some Croatian way. So like you have Ožujsko, like Laško, not interesting beers, not worth. So let's go to Slovenia, drink a wine.
Yes, Slovenia is also known as a wine country. That tells you a lot. We are a country of people who like to drink. Either is it wine or is it beer. So the beer's been coming forward in the past years. We've been riding the way of that. We've been putting the new terrain for beer. Green Gold has been one of the pioneers. We were the first to put beer in cans. To tell people that beer in cans is better, and we are proud to do so. So Slovenia definitely is a beer country, but not a lot of people know that. So we're getting there.
And can you tell more a little bit about how does it look like with distribution? Because I know like in Slovenia there are no enough like multi-taps. There are like some in Maribor, some in Ljubljana, but mainly you are like selling to markets, to some like open air festivals and so on. So how is it looking like for you?
Well, I'm not sure about other breweries, but Green Gold sells about 70% in retail. It's became very popular, but like you said, there are not very much multi-tap bars in Slovenia, and they are often paid by Heineken, so they have like 10 different Heineken beers from Union to Lashka to Heineken to fucking Katowice or whatever, you know. So it's all paid by Heineken. There's a lot of pay-to-play in Slovenia, but the guys that are actually doing it, like they're doing craft beer, they know how to do it, and that's that's giving the growth.
All right. I know also like this year it was in May or in June you made a special action for Spar markets like Teden Craft Piwa with Pelicon, with Meister and some other like craft.
Meister, Reset, Tectonic.
And Bevok. I think it was Bevok.
And Bevok,
and
yeah.
Bevok,
Of course, I forgot Bevok.
So it was a special box prepared by 6 Slovenian breweries for the markets to promote craft beer. And in this point, I would like to ask you, like, how it's going with some cooperating between breweries? Because I think like ISM is in Poland. Like the breweries came from home brewing, from starting at home, and now in Poland we have more competition between breweries than some friendship. How does it look like in Slovenia?
The situation has been similar, but this project, Teden Craft Piva, this is the craft beer week in Slovenia, has brought 6 largest craft breweries in Slovenia together. We've done... wait. That's not working.
What?
The speaker's not working. I cannot...
Okay.
So we've done craft beer and we've expanded knowledge. The sales of that package were through the roof. It was very fast sold out because it was a one-time thing. We are doing it again in December with different beers but same breweries.
So you have to visit, and I have to visit Slovenia again in December because I got this box and I think this big variety of beer styles is worth to taste it when you didn't try some Slovenian beers. And also at this point we mentioned Bevok in this project. And we, I think, know in Poland some case of Bevok, like they would like to start a brewery in Slovenia, but then they moved to Austria, which is like 10 kilometers from Austrian-Slovenian border. So it's easy or more difficult to provide a brewery in Slovenia?
Well, first of all, the Bevok brewery is actually located literally less than 1 kilometer away from the border. And when they moved to Austria, they actually paved the way for craft breweries in Slovenia because they made their story very famous. That's good.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, everybody knew that the government didn't want them to make a brewery, or actually, as far as I know, they wanted some payment. And when that story made national news, when we opened a couple of years later, it was so much easier to get permits and all that.
Okay, because I know you have also some regulations that they allow you to make a home beer and sell this. Is it true or not? Because I know
Home beer and?
Homebrew beers.
Yeah, that's a very specific question. There is some legislation about homebrewing, but Slovenia is also a Slavic country, so in reality, nobody cares about that.
Yeah, because you can go to Bled, to Bohin or somewhere else, and there are like small breweries there. You can.
Those are not registered as home brewers.
Okay, so
the
mainly
legislation in Slovenia does allow registration of a home brewer, but in reality, nobody does it. Everybody who makes beer at home for not commercial use, they don't apply it. They don't. They don't say about it.
All right.
So the small breweries you're asking about, there is a couple of very good ones in the Gorenska region. Those guys are registered as craft breweries. So they're not home breweries. There is like I said, there's a line in the legislature, but nobody fucking cares.
All right.
Slavic engineering works its wonders.
About Slavic engineering and some alcohol, I don't know. You maybe know Slovenian whiskey named Bliski.
Speaking of Slavic engineering and alcohol, my beer is empty.
Oh yeah, just give us 10 more minutes. We'll talk and then you can have a beer.
Okay.
Going back to asking about this whiskey. You know Slovenian whiskey?
I know about it a lot. We actually do make it.
But you know this named Bliski? Or not? Or there's a different one?
I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, because one of friends...
we have distilled at Green Gold. We have distilled a couple
Oh, you are also distilling, yeah?
We've distilled beer.
Nice.
So it's like a beer brandy.
But you distilled from lager, pale ale, or different?
From everything.
As you can see.
And then we barrel aged it in tequila barrels.
Oh, fuck.
But we don't sell this.
Why?
Because you need to visit us.
Okay, so I have to plan a visit in Slovenia.
You have to visit us, and then we will give it to you.
All right.
We will pour it in.
Can everyone afford it? Or not?
Today, with your mouth open.
Let's take it to the... Okay, no problem.
You're gonna get fucked.
It's like new Slovenian tradition.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, going back to hops. Do you have some favorite one? You like to use some?
My favorite hop. I have two favorite hops. One is Aurora and one is Steer and Wolf. Aurora was the first hop that was bred at the Slovenian Institute of Hop Research and Breeding. That was in the, I think, 60s or 70s. I'm not sure. So that was the first one. And it still comes out today as strong. You can try at our booth wet hop beer made with fresh Aurora. A shit ton of it. And that beer is just so good. So good. So good. And then there's Steer and Wolf, which is one of the new way of hops, the flavor varieties, if you will. That one is one of the most popular in the United States. It's exported a lot to the United States, but being grown on my farm, I can use it at home also. And we like to make a lot of good beers with it. So Steer and Wolf we used with a collaboration with Pinta Brewery. It's called Hazy Discovery Žalec, like we showed it before. And it's got a shit ton of Steer and Wolf and a shit ton of mosaic hops.
Is it your farm on this can?
The picture on the picture on the can is from my farm.
And you're driving this tractor. No, I saw that you...
I know how to drive the tractor, but I'm not really sure if that's me driving on the picture. But it's very possible.
I saw that you prefer quads.
I prefer pussy, brother.
Oh yeah, it's for later. But also, I know your label. Okay, it's Pinta label. I know your labels
Yeah.
from Green Gold. You have some pussy-like labels. You don't have today with you like this hop princess.
Yeah, we don't have hop princess, but we do
Oh.
have cashmere.
Okay, but it's not hop princess. Hop princess is like you have to Google the hop princess label.
Yeah, hop princess you can only get at the brewery.
All right.
So you need to come.
So when you visit and you get yeah. All right.
You will
all right.
see a lot of princesses in the valley also. It's like in Poland. A lot of beautiful ladies.
In the middle of hops, you mean?
Yes.
All right. But it's not like you.
No, what?
What? No, never mind.
What?
Never mind. Okay.
Where's
so,
my beer?
Yeah, where's the beer? The beer is everywhere. The beer is everywhere. As you can see, I'm checking the time, or we still have some minutes. So can you tell us a little bit more about your beers that you recommend for the people? And then I will go free you to taste Polish beer, Polish pussies, and so on and so on.
Yeah, Polish pussy later, but okay.
Yeah.
Craft beer in Slovenia is doing good, but Polish craft beer is also doing very good. I'm very proud that I have been able to meet the guys that have made Polish craft beer a reality. This is Pinta guys, and you also.
Thank you.
And a bunch of other guys. I'm not gonna mention everybody, but mostly I've met the guys from Pinta. They've been the first to drive the craft movement in Poland, and it's so beautiful that everybody has the same mindset as we do. We're just a bunch of guys that like to drink beer, you know. It's we can talk about it, but in reality, it's just a bunch of guys that like to drink beer. I'm not gonna mask it. I like to drink beer. I like to drink good beer. I want to drink more good beer. And I've came to Poland. I love the fucking good beer. It's awesome.
That's
I love
nice.
Poland. Bober kurwa.
Bober kurwa, yeah. As the same way as I love Slovenia. And one more question about at the end. How about the festivals in Slovenia? Do you have some festival that's like worth to visit? You have to visit only Hop Harvest Festival.
Yes, Slovenia has a lot of festivals. The largest is Piva and Burger in Ljubljana, but also one of the largest is Craft Beer Festival by Green Gold. It's called Koma Sutra, which in rough translation means coma tomorrow.
All right.
And I know you all know what that means. So the next year is going to be in June. Everybody's invited. And the most important thing is we support craft beer, we support drinking, we want to get fucked up.
Yeah, so here I have to focus on this, as you can say, Slavic spirit. And by spirit, I'm not only meaning drink.
You have any vodka?
We'll see. Okay, thank you for this short speech about Slovenia. I invite you to visit Green Gold here at the Warsaw Beer Festival. We have 3 days of joining this Slovenian beer, and you can talk with Luka as me, but more private about the private.
If I'm sober enough to talk, which
if
after
you're
this
drunk,
one-
if you are drunk, it's. I think a lot of people
I
can.
like to talk to everybody, so
Yeah,
don't
if you are-
bother.
we
yeah, you
will
just
be-
come, drink beer, talk to me, talk to my friends.
You can talk in Slovenian.
Bober kurwa.
Thank you. Zdravo, hvala.
Hvala.
Thank you.